desolate highway. I've always loved the thrill of driving at night, the darkness shrouding the world, the solitude of an empty road, and the sense of freedom it brings. But that night, that fateful night, would forever change my perception of nocturnal drives. It was a moonless night, the stars barely peeking through a thick blanket of clouds, and I found myself on a desolate highway cutting through a dense forest. The road seemed endless, surrounded by towering trees that seemed to lean in and watch me pass. My hands gripped the steering wheel tightly, the hum of the engine my only companion in the darkness. With each passing mile I could feel a growing unease, a strange sensation that someone or something was watching me from the shadows. My eyes darted to the rearview mirror, but there was nothing but the faint glow of my taillights reflected back at me. I shook off the feeling, chiding myself for being spooked by the wilderness. As I continued down the seemingly deserted road, the headlights revealed occasional signs of life. A lonely gas station, an abandoned farmhouse, each one adding to the eerie ambience of the night. My mind began to wander, imagining the stories that must linger in these forsaken places. Suddenly a thick fog rolled in, obscuring the road ahead. I slowed down, squinting through the windshield, trying to make out any discernible landmarks. Panic tingled in my chest. I knew I should pull over, but a part of me wanted to press on. I could sense something calling me further into the fog. Reluctantly, I rolled down the window, hoping for a gust of wind to dissipate the haze. But instead, a chilling whisper brushed against my ear, making my skin prickle with fear. I slammed the window shut and hit the gas, determined to escape whatever malevolence lurked in the fog. With every passing minute, the fog thickened, my surroundings becoming more and more indistinguishable. Panic engulfed me, and I realized I had no idea where I was or which direction I was heading. I cursed myself for not having paid more attention to the road signs earlier. Then, a dim light flickered in the distance, beckoning like a distant lighthouse in the sea of fog. Hope ignited within me, and I followed the ethereal glow, praying it would lead me to safety. As I drew closer, I could see the faint outline of a dilapidated roadside motel. The motel looked like it belonged in a horror film, with its cracked windows and peeling paint. I hesitated for a moment, considering my options, but desperation and the encroaching darkness urged me to take shelter there. Parking my car in front of the lobby, I noticed a worn-out sign that read, "Vacancy." A shiver ran down my spine, but I convinced myself it was merely the chill of the night. The reception area was deserted, cobwebs hanging from the corners, and an old radio playing static-filled music. I rang the bell, its echo eerily resonating in the silence. After what felt like an eternity, an elderly man with sunken eyes and a crooked smile appeared from behind the reception desk. His greeting felt hollow and forced, his voice barely above a whisper. "I have a room for you," he said, sliding an old-fashioned key across the counter. Relieved, I took the key and headed down a dimly lit corridor, the creaking floorboards adding to the unsettling atmosphere. As I entered the room, a musty smell filled my nostrils, and a chill settled in the air. I tried to brush off my unease and assured myself that it was just a motel, a rundown one, but a motel nonetheless. I locked the door and lay on the bed, hoping to rest until the fog cleared. But sleep was elusive, and strange sounds echoed through the walls. The creaking of stairs, distant whispers, and soft sobs. I dismissed them as my imagination playing tricks, the product of an exhausted mind. Just as I was beginning to drift off, a tapping sound on the window startled me. I turned to see a face pressed against the glass, a hauntingly pale face with hollow eyes that seemed to pierce my soul. Fear paralyzed me, and I couldn't move, couldn't even scream. The face disappeared, and a raspy voice whispered my name from outside the window. I couldn't take it any longer. I grabbed my belongings, left the key on the dresser, and ran out of the room, not bothering to check out. The fog outside had lifted, and I drove away from that cursed motel as fast as I could. To this day, I can't explain what happened that night. Was it my imagination running wild, or did I stumble upon something otherworldly on that desolate highway? One thing's for sure, the fear of driving at night has never left me, and I doubt it ever will.